So YouTube decided to do something completely unexpected. Well, it was unexpected but not surprising in any way. About a month ago, a video was posted on the YouTube creators channel titled Update to YouTube's Dislike Count. And boy was it an interesting change. First off, our random spokesperson for this particular video started with this interesting tidbit.
You may have seen a while back that YouTube announced it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video. Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not.
My first question is, when exactly did YouTube conduct this study? I mean, this was never mentioned at all. As we've all seen before, this is how things start going downhill. Companies start making changes without even remotely thinking about its user base, and then expects to get a good result out of it. Then he mentions dislike bombing and how it works and why it exists.
Unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either. Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a game with a visible scoreboard. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. That's a big problem when half of YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice.
And then directly after that, he states he never went through anything like that on his channel, and you probably haven't had a bunch of people throw dislikes on any of your videos, but we feel like this will help the community that never asked for this to be implemented based on a study that we conducted with no outside assistance. I think the thing that makes the least sense about this video is the fact that they didn't even show any proof, any evidence, anything that shows that this data exists, and they're not just pulling this out of their ass. I think even with that, it's all pretty sketchy because they just assumed that plenty of people had this issue when it's probably close to maybe like 5-10% of the creator population. Here are 3 questions that YouTube posted in a pinned comment. Why don't you just make this optional for creators? This is optional for creators today, but we've seen that when creators choose to turn off likes/dislikes on their videos, they can be bullied and harassed for their decision. That's because most YouTubers don't turn off likes on their videos. I mean, what reason would they have? It's not like they're getting dislike bombed. The average video has 10 times as many likes as it does dislikes, and even videos on small channels like mine barely get any dislikes or likes now that I think about it, but that's beside the point. Ultimately, because it's YouTube's responsibility to protect its community and create an inclusive environment where creators like yourself feel safe to express themselves, we've decided to make the dislike count private across all videos so that creators aren't pressured to make this decision themselves. Isn't making the decision for them kind of defeating the purpose? Dislike counts helped me know what videos were worth watching. What am I supposed to do now? Like counts and comments are still a good way to get a sense of a video's quality, especially for tutorials and educational videos. This way users can still see what other viewers' opinions of videos may be without making creators susceptible to coordinated dislike campaigns and other forms of harassment using the dislike counts. That's technically true, but what if the creator in question disables all of these things? Because you can easily just do that by typing a really horrible comment and being able to get a reaction out of the creator that way. You don't have to use dislikes to do anything like that. As a creator, I use dislike counts for important feedback on my videos. What am I supposed to do now? You will still be able to see the dislike count in studio, so that feedback isn't going anywhere if it's something you rely on. The only thing that is changing is the dislike count won't be available to the public so that people aren't the victims of coordinated dislike attacks and harassment campaigns. But sometimes creators don't need their viewers to give them negative thoughts about their work. Just because the viewers don't give them shit for it doesn't mean they can't be their own source of torment. So in reality, you're kind of solving 1/6 of the problem. Now, Devin Nash made a video on this topic already, and he acknowledged the fact that a lot of people think the reason YouTube is making this change in the first place is because they're trying to appease the corporations that advertise on their platform, like Andrei Turbe said in his video. But what Devin proposed was that,
what if YouTube removed the dislike button for exactly the reason they said they did?
And that's also a pretty fair possibility. I mean, YouTube has been moving towards the quote-unquote PC culture scene, especially in the second half of the past decade. It doesn't exactly surprise me now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, YouTube HQ is situated in one of the biggest liberal destinations in the United States, California. So it only makes sense that YouTube would want to cater to the minute, the proud few that insist on believing that dislike bombing can actually stop people from succeeding on YouTube for some reason. But even if it was true that they did all of this research to actually help the people who make them money, it just protects the creators that don't want to take any constructive criticism and hide the weird things that they've been doing behind the scenes, just like a lot of people have seen in the past. I myself have a lot of examples that I've seen over the years. So what happens when YouTube hides dislikes? People start wondering what else YouTube might be hiding.